What up, what up, what up? It's a new show, First in Fantasy. I'm so excited to be here to talk fantasy football with my homie, man. What's going on, Zo?
Good, man. I'm happy to be here. Glad to, show what I can do. All about the college perspective, but you run the fantasy streets around here, so let's get this show on the way.
Hey, we doing big things, man. We doing big things together, bro. But I'm just
Absolutely.
happy that I can get away from all the stuff that I got going on fantasy Twitter and et cetera to kind of jump back and like kick it and talk vibes with my actual boy in real life. Like this is some of the things that some people don't really get a chance to do.
Exactly. And that's the thing. We have like this unspoken chemistry.
Definitely, bro. This is gonna be a vibe, man. Like getting into your top recruit, man, that you kind of threw in the chat the other day, and he kind of got caught up. I mean, Ollie Gordon. I mean, the way you've been talking about this dude, he seems to be like a top prospect. Like where I feel like he could possibly be one of the top 3 running backs in next year's class, but it seems that he got caught up with a DUI. Like I didn't dip too much into it. Like, what does this guy got going on, man?
Okay, so he is definitely the number one running back, but unfortunately, he had a DUI. He got caught up. The legal limit in Oklahoma is zero point 0.8. He came up with a zero point 0.1, and
Damn.
unfortunately, that kind of equates to like 4 beers, 3, 4 beers. And we have a press conference, like we have a clip of his coach saying like it's not a big deal. So I don't see his draft stock, hurting at all. He's still going to be the number one running back, and just be on the lookout for this guy, man. He's insane, 6'2". He led the nation in rushing. He's a 96 overall in a new college football game. Like
Ooh,
he's
that
big.
come out Friday, right?
Yeah, man, it comes out, and I'm
Yeah, we
getting
about
it.
to
I
be up
hope you
on
get
that.
it too.
Not,
Oklahoma
I'm,
State,
look,
man.
I got the Xbox. I got the Xbox
Yeah.
back from Jersey, so I might have to
Okay.
pop in
Okay.
that
About
college
time.
football. Yeah, man, look, I might have to jump into that because the hype that is building, boy. But Ollie Gordon's a guy that I feel like he'll be able to bounce back. I think a lot of these college guys they make mistakes because they're still
Hmm.
young. The spotlight's on them, and like I'm not gonna fault him, personally about my judgment on him because he is still one of the top prospects basically on the talent that we saw on that clip. But I think when it comes to these owners and these teams, man, they need to know who they're going to be investing in, and like I can
Right.
kind of understand a reality where his draft stock kind of pulls back down. But man, these are the mistakes that hopefully that you hope this young man can come back and bounce back and handle business on the field and hopefully have a clean cut process going into the NFL draft.
Yeah, listen, man, all it takes is another good season of domination like he had last year, and all
Yeah.
this stuff, all these concerns go out the window. You just got to say the right things, move on, and show growth, and just continue to
Yeah.
dominate. And if he does, hey, first round draft pick.
Yeah.
First round draft pick.
Dominate, man. That's a good word, the good transition. I mean, I want to get into a running back that I feel as though he kind of handled business in college. Trey Benson. I mean, this dude, he is one of the most explosive backs in the class. I mean, you can debate that he was the number 1 running back. I know everybody loved Jonathan Brooks, what he was able
Hmm.
to do, but hey, his season got cut short, and I think Trey Benson had landed in a very good spot. I mean, look at this dude. Look how explosive he is, man.
Yep.
Look at the dancing feet in the trenches. This dude could break dance in a phone booth. Like, what are we doing here?
Kick returns and all. Listen, Trey
Yes.
Benson, I'm a fan of Jonathan Brooks too, and I got both of them on my league team. So Trey Benson, he's been on my radar this whole entire time. So the only issue I have is him backing up James Conner. But James
Yeah.
Conner, he's kind of injury prone. He's slowing up a little bit. He doesn't have the explosiveness as Trey Benson. So
This is a
Trey
former
Benson,
Pittsburgh Steeler, by the way.
yeah, yeah, I'm a
And
Steelers
you a
fan.
fan, so
So
why
you
you why
already
you
know.
dogging my
You
man's
already
like
know.
that?
But I've always been a fan of James. However, he doesn't have that superstar potential. Trey Benson, you can look at the clips right now, superstar potential. And I say by week 8, he's going to have the reins. He's going to be the bell cow of the
Ooh,
Arizona Cardinals.
week 8. That's kind of spicy, man. I
Yeah,
think
man, that's
James
my hot
kind of
take.
looked good. He looked good last year. I mean, look, he was one of 6 running
Hmm.
backs in the last 2 seasons to average 70 rushing yards per game. I mean, that is accomplishment when you're in the likes of the Christian McCaffreys and the Derrick Henrys and stuff like that. Ain't nothing light. Like James Conner has been an efficient back, 4.7 yards per carry last season though. And it's like you look at James Conner as he is who he is, and for fantasy, I really feel as though all you need is 10 games out of James Conner. That's really all you need out of him. I mean, we know he hasn't had a complete season his entire career, but he is very useful when he's on the field. And I think, Trey Benson might have to sit back in the back seat if we get 12, 14 games out of James Conner being this efficient.
Listen, I hear you, but like you said, James Conner hasn't had a full season of just being straight healthy. I can honestly see it as he gets injured early on in the season, Trey Benson comes in and just takes off. Going forward, James Conner could just be a goal line back. He still has fantasy potential, and he can still catch out the backfield, but Trey Benson is going to be the future, and this is why y'all should be picking my man up. Pick him up.
Most definitely in Dynasty. You already know Trey Benson's on my roster, but apparently in our league, my home league with you that I created, which was Fire Leagues only, we got a couple characters in there, but I feel like more so Trey Benson should be on my team, even though I face you week 1, which we already know who's going to get that dub. Like, there's a clear understanding, right?
Yeah, I mean, I'm cool with taking the L only because I'm rebuilding. I still have draft picks. I had, 4 or 5 first-round draft picks this year. And
thanks to our league mates, because that clearly don't know how to trade or operate a team, but I'll get to that to another episode. But we're going to transition to another topic because we were talking about Trey Benson as one of the top prospects. But going into this redraft season, because it's redraft season, people, it is the summertime, people are waking up saying, hey, my league is today. So Trey Benson's definitely one of those guys that we touched on as a top prospect coming out of this class. Who do you have as another prospect that should be drafted and redraft, going into drafts this summer?
Other than Trey Benson, it has to be my man, Bijan Robinson. Honestly, he's going to be the bell cow. He already showed potential as a rookie last year. And I know C-Mac is number 1, but there's going to be a new number 1 running back moving forward. And I just got word that, his coach is behind giving him about 20, 25 touches a game. So, Bijan Robinson, be on the lookout. He's going to be dominating.
So my top 3 running backs right now, when I look at going into the draft day, it's either obviously CMC number 1, but then Bijan and Breece Hall are like my toss-up where I feel comfortable with either or if I go one way. Like, we love Bijan, the situation he's in now with the coaching staff with Zach Robinson, former Rams offensive coordinator. So he counts as a Sean McVay tree, by the way. But I feel like he's in a great situation. So I'm not mad at targeting Bijan early in those rounds. I mean, after that, it's kind of like, is it Gibbs? Is it Jonathan Taylor? Like, who would you rather, Jonathan Taylor or Gibbs on the back end of that first round?
Honestly, I would rather have Jahmyr Gibbs over Jonathan Taylor, only because for Taylor's situation, Anthony Richardson is going to be taking, a lot of runs. So it might impact his value, honestly, especially in a goal line situation.
Yeah, because if you look here at the rankings, CMC, you have Bijan, Breece Hall, and then you have Saquon Barkley, who I feel like is being forgotten in a lot of situations where he's in a good spot in Philly. I mean, what do you think his outlook is looking like? Is he going to be a top 5 running back this year?
Yes, definitely a top 5 running back. I love Philly's O-line. They're always dominating, and even though Jalen Hurts likes to run, especially, the tush push, that situation at goal line, Saquon is still an explosive back, and running behind the best O-line that he's ever going to have, he's going to be a top 5 running back for sure.
I agree, man, and it's a lot of little hints that the Eagles been trying to get more running backs involved in the passing game. Like, it goes back to Miles Sanders, even though he was terrible coming out of that backfield as a passer, but going out and getting a DeAndre Swift, who we know can kind of catch some passes out of the backfield. I mean, when you look at the percentage from their running back targets when Miles Sanders was there and then when DeAndre Swift was there was a 5% increase in Jalen Hurts targets to running backs. So you got to account for that now that they have somebody that has the ability to catch the ball, and he clears DeAndre Swift. I don't know if we agree there. I mean, obviously Saquon better than DeAndre, right?
Yeah, absolutely.
Okay, so we on to something. So that's where I think he fits into that top 5 conversation, definitely, man. And I think a lot of people are sleeping on him. Even myself, on my rankings, I got him at running back 7, I believe. Those are one of the situations I like to be in where I'm all right, am I going to be able to acquire a top 5 or a top 7 running back? And I think in those first early couple rounds, you can do that with Saquon Barkley.
Absolutely, man. I agree. I agree.
Yeah, man, but more so like now that we're going deep later into the later rounds because there's a huge drop off on running backs in drafts. I mean, how are we feeling about like the sleepers? Like, is there any real sleeper running back this season that you got on your mind?
No, I haven't really been checking for, sleeper running backs, but, I always would go Taylor, to Jersey's own Isaiah Pacheco. Like, how is he?
Yeah.
Is he one of your sleepers?
Isaiah Pacheco, he is very slept on. I feel like he should be ranked a little bit higher in a lot of people's drafts just based on Matt Nagy getting him involved in that passing game. I mean, when you look at the numbers when you're looking at Matt Nagy, all his running backs, even dating back to 2017 when he had a short spurt with the Chiefs, Kareem Hunt was getting targets out of the backfield. Time with the Bears, you obviously had Tariq Cohen there, but David Montgomery was eating out of that backfield as well. Like going all the way back to 2017, his running backs averaged 55 targets a season. So you're giving Isaiah Pacheco that floor? Oh man, that I'm all in on Isaiah Pacheco to see more touches, getting more involved in the pass game because he was great last year. I mean, Isaiah Pacheco is definitely should be on somebody's like radar as least as a top 7 running back in 2024.
Yeah, I agree, and he shows no signs of slowing down. Have you seen the way he runs? He runs so angry, and it's
Man,
insane.
if the
Like,
ground can swing.
Yeah, exactly. It's reminiscent of Adrian Peterson. The way he runs is just so angry. So I love that for him, and people should be more in on Isaiah Pacheco. Jersey,
Big Jersey. Yeah, we show Jersey
real.
love on here, man. Shout out to him. I
Absolutely.
mean, there's a lot of people from Jersey. Matt Nagy, he's from Jersey.
Is he really? Oh, okay.
I
Did not
believe
know
so.
that.
I mean, I could be wrong, but but I have so many people in my head that are from Jersey, like David Njoku, man. Like shout out to him,
Yup.
Big Jersey, North Jersey, Central Jersey, we all connected. But anyway, getting into my running back sleeper, man, I'm gonna go with Chuba Hubbard. I think a lot of people are sleeping on him. Where in like a lot of ADPs on these underdog drafts, he's going in like the 13th, 14th round. And the reason why I say he's a sleeper, obviously with Jonathan Brooks there, which is another
Right.
great rookie prospect coming out of there. And I really feel as though he's going to have to be slow walked into touches, like where I feel like he's going to have to come around like week 5 or week 6, you know what I mean? Like where Jonathan Brooks will get slowly involved as the RB1. But that first month of fantasy, if I can get a starting running back in the 14th round who has like at least 20 touches in him per game, I feel as though like Chuba Hubbard can get me through that first month if I need a flex.
Okay. I mean, it all depends on Jonathan Brooks and the training camp. If he shows out that he's the alpha, he's the alpha. But it's a sleeper for a reason. And I like Chuba Hubbard. I had him on my team last year, and he held it down. He got some touches and got some scores.
Yeah,
But
great third
we'll
down
see what
back. I
happens.
mean, yeah, I mean, if he gets the opportunity on a upgraded, I would say O-line, because we saw the Panthers O-line last year. That was
Disgusting.
nasty
So,
work, real nasty work. But if you're telling me on an upgraded O-line and then you get Deontay Johnson, your boy, by the way, be
Yup.
able to
Shout out
get
to
the
him.
offense. Yeah, I know that's your boy. And it's like, y'all did him dirty. You never got him a quarterback, and then now you go get a quarterback and you ship him off.
Listen, he played with Big Ben. He had
Broken,
quarterback at
a
some
broken
point.
Big Ben. Let's be correct.
Old man Ben was
Old
way
man
better
Ben
than
was
Kenny
broken out
Pickett.
there.
Yeah, but it was something better than nothing.
Hey, listen, Deontay Johnson won me some good fantasy weeks. I just wish he scored a lot more touchdowns between Mitch Trubisky, Kenny Pickett, and Mason Rudolph. But, you get Russell Wilson, Justin Fields, and then you ship him off. It's kind of like there's no real full fantasy potential.
Yeah, I feel, as a Steelers fan, I feel bad that we did that. We needed a corner.
should.
A cornerback.
You should feel
but,
terrible.
I love the Pickens, Deontay Johnson 1-2 combo and then fire move in the middle. But
Yeah.
we'll see. Pittsburgh's going to have a number 2 step up real soon.
I mean, what's your expectations for your team this year, man? I mean, Steelers,
Expectations?
like,
I think we're going to win the AFC North. That's me being a homer, and we have the
hold on.
best record.
who's in
last
y'all
year.
division again?
Baltimore
Ravens?
Cleveland
Browns?
Browns, and the Cincinnati Bengals. But listen,
That's what I'm
we
saying.
had-
Like, you got heavy
we had the
hitters. You
best-
talking like
we
you
had
talking
the
like you
best
got it like
record in
that.
the
Like,
division. We had the best record in the division. We have the Ravens number. The only team that we really have to be worried about, in my opinion, is the Bengals, just because they're wide receiver threats. But
No, you
if
gotta
T
worry
Higgins
about
get traded, I'm not worried about the Bengals
Nah,
anymore.
I don't think T going nowhere. I don't think he going nowhere. I think more so they look at that offense a lot better now, adding Jermaine Burton, another 2024 rookie prospect. I feel like
okay.
when you look at that division, y'all don't have it clear cut as you are trying to paint it to be. Like I know you lying, like you potting right now.
No, not at all. Listen,
You trying to get some Steelers Nation love out here? Like
I
nah,
know
bro,
what
you
social
potting.
media says. We are always the underdog for whatever reason, but we have yet to go 500 under Mike Tomlin. We had the best record in the division.
You was
The
shook.
proof is in the numbers. Proof is in the numbers, man.
You
we
was
have
shook.
an upgrade at quarterback.
You was shook last season. I know you was. Like y'all was this close of breaking that little record he got.
Nah, we went to the playoffs.
When the last time
right?
y'all won a playoff game?
Oh, that's been a while.
Yeah, it's been some years. I had acne on my face playing Beyblade last time y'all won.
Oh, not the
won a
Beyblade.
playoff game. Yeah, I said Beyblade.
Man.
We're gonna bring it back.
Yeah. I was playing with you. I ain't even want to lie. It wasn't.
Yeah,
it was
exactly.
us.
I'm about to say, go ahead and lie. I'm gonna expose you on here.
Okay. But how do you feel about the Rams and y'all situation? Since we want to talk about my team.
Bro, we about to get another ring.
Oh God.
You know
I'm
that?
not getting past the Niners. When? 20.
The Niners cannot finish. Why does that? Why do y'all think that's our boogeyman? That's not our demon.
Is.
That's not the boogeyman of the division. We don't fear nobody.
I don't think y'all feel the Cardinals. If anything, y'all have to fear.
Cardinals are the
Niners.
little
They're
brother
consistent.
that we take with us everywhere. Like, okay, good job. You can play with us, and you still beat them. Like, they're nothing to me.
Are you worried at all about Marvin Harrison Jr., Kyler Murray, and Trey Benson, your boy? Like,
Trey
I don't know, I
McBride,
would be worried. Y'all don't have Aaron
Greg
Donald
Dortch.
no more.
That's my boy. Greg Dortch, that's my boy. But I'm
And
not
Dortch
worried
we
about the
trust.
Cardinals either. The Cardinals
Yeah.
cannot stop us.
We're gonna see. We're gonna circle back.
Listen,
to this when
I'm
y'all
telling you
lose,
now,
and
we are
I'm gonna be
going
here,
to the
like, play this
playoffs.
clip back.
We're going to bring this back. I
Yep.
promise you, we're going to the playoffs. I could stand on business and say that.
Okay, stand on business, and
If
I
everybody is
can't wait when you're
healthy.
wrong.
Side, make sure when we clip this, I say when they're healthy. All right, so I don't want this to come back on Zoe. We're gonna like posting
Week
this talking
one,
about
Cooper
something.
Cup gets hurt again.
Nah,
Yeah, it's gonna be
listen, I'm just
nasty work.
saying. Listen, Rams are going to the Super Bowl. And I'm telling you now, when we go to playoffs, I'm gonna make sure to book you a ticket. You're gonna come over here and we're gonna watch the Super Bowl.
Okay.
All right.
That's not going to happen, but okay. Y'all don't have
Okay.
Aaron Donald on defense anymore. I don't know who y'all
Don't
have
worry
on
about
defense
that.
that's
We hit the
relevant.
draft. See, you see how
y'all
they
going
all
to the
look.
playoffs. Y'all going to the Super Bowl with just offense, no defense.
Rams Nation. You see how he tried to dog us? He tried to say we lost Aaron
Absolutely.
Donald. We got some replacements. Brandon Fisk,
Replacements.
Jared Verse,
Replacements.
Byron Young, Kobe Turner.
I like
That's
Jared
the
Verse.
rush.
I like
That's
Jared
it.
Verse.
Bro,
Okay.
listen. I'm telling you now. The Rams are going back to the bowl. We lost Aaron Donald, but we got Jarrett Verse and Brandon Fisk. They played together in college. These dudes were in the trenches doing 1-2 punch combos. This is Ryu and Ken. What are we talking about?
You got a point there. I was, looking at Fisk, and he is legit, so that's a good pickup for y'all.
Thank you.
We said they're not no Aaron Donald. We know what Aaron Donald was doing.
It's about to turn into a whole Rams podcast.
Yeah.
Listen,
We
I'm
want
telling
to
you
move
now
on.
for fantasy, if you want any good players on your roster, you will target Puka Nacua, Kyron Williams, Cooper Kupp, Matthew Stafford, and Blake Corum. Those are the guys you're going to be targeting this year for fantasy. And Zoe, for the Steelers, I can't say.
George
I
Pickens
can't-
and Najee Harris will have a resurgence under that upgraded O-line. And quarterback.
Do you know who your offensive coordinator is? Do you know how much that's
Yeah,
going to be a headache for
absolutely.
fantasy?
Absolutely.
Do you
saw
know how
what
much
he
that's
did
going to
in
be a headache
Tennessee?
for fantasy?
You saw what he did in Tennessee? Najee
My
Harris
brother.
is in a Derrick
My
Henry
African.
role.
My African. Listen, Arthur Smith is the offensive coordinator, hyping up Cordero Patterson, saying he's going to be more utilized than special teams. So you telling me I got to worry about my Jalen Warren shares?
Absolutely.
See, that's crazy. Like, this is a Steelers fan saying this. This doesn't help
I'm a
fantasy.
fan of Jalen Warren. And honestly, you shouldn't be drafting Warren over Najee because Najee is the bell cow. Yes,
Listen.
Warren comes in explosive, but he's a number 2 back for a reason.
I get it. I am against, like, now Fantasy Streets was getting a little crazy putting Jalen Warren ADP a little bit higher than Najee Harris. I mean, it's a
Which is
couple
crazy.
picks, but we still have to realize Arthur Smith is the offensive coordinator. It's going to be a headache either way we look at it. So I feel like when we go to drafts these summers, we need to pull it back, understand that Jalen Warren will be the Thunder. All right, he won't be the Lightning because that'll be the RB1. He'll be the Thunder. He'll be the punch. You know, like I think he'll benefit from running outside the tackles because the last 2 seasons nobody ran outside the tackles more in rushing attempts than Arthur Smith. So this is where Jalen Warren gets really busy outside. He'd be able to explode and take a home run. So I think that's where a lot of people are hoping Arthur Smith leans on the more explosive back, but a lot of situations I could see Najee Harris being the RB1.
So yes, I have a sleeper pick, wide receiver 2, Calvin Austin. Please be on the lookout for that.
Oh,
man.
boo
Please
boo
be
this
on the
man.
lookout.
I hope our amazing producer Sai edits that out. I hope he takes that completely out. Don't tell. Why are you feeding the Fantasy Streets false information?
False information. Okay. What you gonna say?
Calvin Austin? You didn't even say
Absolutely.
Roman Wilson. You said Calvin
Wilson is the
Austin.
rookie, and he is lower on the pecking order than Calvin Austin. Okay.
Hold on. Now that you said that, and you're still like, this is a sickness. People don't like to acknowledge Arthur Smith as their offensive coordinator. I would like for somebody to tell me the second wide receiver on the Falcons that was fantasy relevant in his time there. I'll wait. You know what? I'll let you sit on that.
Olamide Zaccheaus was the only wide receiver
Fantasy
I
relevant.
remember.
Fantasy. Come on. Look, I'm going to let you sit on that for next episode because we about to wrap
Okay.
up and get up out of here. But more so, we're going to put a pin in that. And what we're going to get to next week, we're going to talk about Calvin Austin. Hey, you know what? We about to get up out of here, man. This has been great to talk fantasy football, my homie. Another great episode of First in Fantasy. Make sure everybody check us out on the Down Money Media social media platforms everywhere. Go out and find us. Hit that follow button. I can't wait to see you guys next week for another great episode of First in Fantasy.